Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my channel. And so yes, today it is the 13th episode of the series with the guest interviews. And yes friends, we all know that our best friend and our worst enemy is our own brain. So there's always a conflict between heart and brain when it comes to decision making. Either of the one dominates based upon our past experiences. So some kind of bad past or past trauma makes us emotionally weak, and that's when a psychologist can help us improve our decision-making ability, stress management and behavior based on understanding our past. So yes friends, today our guest is Mrs. Sudha Chandrasekharan, who is a psychological counselor with masters in counseling and 15 years of experience in psychotherapy. She does online counseling therapy for stress management, anxiety, disorder, and depression. So let's just quickly get into the conversation with Madam Sudha about the most complex organ of our body, and that is our brain. Hi ma'am, welcome to my channel.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, thank you so much for coming ma'am. So yes, first of all, I would just like to know what actually psychology is all about.
Psychology is basically the study of mind and the behavior of people. It is like there are two different things, like the mind and the brain is different. Brain is the anatomy, which you see when you get hurt or something, there is physical pain. We can see the pain in the brain, the blood is coming or something like that. But mind is something which you cannot see, but it gives equal pain when it is affected. That part is psychology.
Okay, so like the emotional quotient of our brain, we can say.
Exactly.
Okay, ma'am. So actually, even I was getting confused. What is the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist?
So, a psychiatrist is basically a person who gives medicines to cure your depression or anxiety, mental tension. When your mental tension crosses a particular level, when you are just like you cannot even recognize in which surrounding you are. So in that type of cases, in the beginning, medicines are given to bring you back, like a shock or a trauma. At first, medicines are given by a psychiatrist to bring you back to normal. And then, like a therapy, we psychologists, we follow. So that you don't go to that intense level of damage again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes ma'am, these days we are focusing a lot about mental health, and usually when a person loses somebody, like there is a death in the family or there's a breakup in relationship, usually what people say is you should go to a therapist, you need therapy. So I would want you to tell what is that exact situation when a person should approach a psychologist, I mean for a therapy.
Basically, we say that when it starts affecting your day-to-day work, as long as the tension is something which is there at the back of your mind, that is, you're able to compartmentalize it. Suppose you're in the office, you're supposed to concentrate on the office work. When you're doing something else or playing, you're supposed to concentrate on the game and play. But when the level of tension is so much that you're not able to concentrate on your work, it interferes in your daily work. Even you become so depressed that some people don't even do their daily chores. They feel very bad about even waking up in the morning. So they get up probably at 12. They don't take care of self-hygiene, like brushing your teeth, taking a bath. Everything seems unnecessary for them. They feel I have lost so much that this is all, I don't care about all this. I don't care about self-hygiene or nothing. So at that time, when you're so much affected, it is better you go for therapy.
Okay. So yes, I'm talking about this same thing. Usually, there are people who show this kind of behavior when they are alone, like not like how you mentioned, not waking up on time, not taking care of themselves. But when they are surrounded by people, not exactly the people whom they like or whom they love, but maybe in a when they are meeting their friend circle or when they are meeting their extended family, that time the same person will be very active, very fun loving, and like very jovial. So does it mean that the person is going through depression, or is it only the laziness or being lonely?
Yeah, even some people do not exhibit the symptoms of depression very externally. Like if you see in a public gathering, they'll be all okay. When they are surrounded by people, they'll be all okay. But mostly it is very difficult to first of all get them out to a public gathering like that. When they are in such a surrounding, they might be okay, just enjoying. But once they get back, they might be very gloomy, alone, lock themselves up in a room. Some people have the habit of hurting themselves. They might hurt themselves with some blade or something like that. You won't even know the person, the friend, when he sees scratch or something, he just thinks normal when you're cutting a fruit or something. It's a normal scratch, something would have happened. That's what we think. But only those who closely observe, like every day or morning, afternoon, noon, like that, every minute you're observing the person, then only you will know whether he's really depressed or no.
Right. Yeah. So yes, ma'am, many people would be approaching you for therapy. So I just want to know, what are the major reasons for depression and anxiety these days?
Major reason for depression and anxiety, I would say divorce is one. Ladies are differently affected and gents are also affected, but they don't show it outside so much as the ladies. That's what I would say. Then some, as you said, some tragic loss, like the loss of your dad or mom or someone or your husband whom you have been relying upon so much. Wherever there is so much of dependence, there will be a tendency for depression. When you are independent, I'm not saying that you will not feel the pain. You will have the pain of loss or you will grieve, but when you're independent, it is more easy to come out of that. Number one cause is divorce, and even children of divorced parents, they suffer a lot, but nobody cares about the children in such a situation. They might require, every child needs a mom and dad, both of them, because they contribute differently to the overall development of the child. So when they are alone, when the child is said to go to the father's house for 2 days or mother's house for the remaining days, or see the father only once a month, like that and all, it becomes a mental tension for the child. It is not able to communicate to the elders that I'm suffering, that I really need my other parent. Because if you talk about the other parent, whoever is with you obviously will get angry because they are in a fight with that person. So the children are not able to tell out their worries. Children also suffering. Like that work tension, because of work tension, simply running behind money, that
promotions.
Yeah, overly worked. Like some people, they are per day they are putting in almost 18 hours of work and all.
Correct.
So that is really too much. Like once in a way, once a week, some important thing is coming up, so we have to obviously work for that. But every day, like that 18 hours and all is too much. The brain gets heated up. You need to take rest. You need to engage in something else. If you see that, the productivity will be more when you engage, give a break and engage for 1 hour in some relaxation activities and then go back, the same work which you might take 10 hours to finish, you might be able to finish in 8 hours.
Correct.
Yeah, that is what people normally don't understand. They feel that they have to keep on working. Only then I'll be able to finish. The tendency is so much, especially in Indians, that work of overwork is so
right.
much. Yeah.
Burden with work.
Yeah.
So yes, ma'am. So you have told that such situations need a therapist. But like usually before all these came into the scene, people used to say when you talk to your dear ones or you share your problems with your friends, so you will feel lighter. So is therapy also the same thing, or what different happens in a therapy?
In therapy, we have, normally talking is the best way to bring out whatever you want to bring out from your deepest mind. Whatever you want to bring out, you will be able to bring it out. Like just by talking to your close friend who might not, reveal all
without judging.
Without judging, reveal whatever you said to others and all that. But nowadays it is very difficult to find a friend who is willing to spend time for you, because they have their own
work, their own
problems.
schedule.
Their own schedules. So too much of workload for everyone. Nobody is able to actually spend time like in olden days.
Correct.
And one more thing is, nowadays we are not in a joint family. Mostly it is a nuclear family. So the husband is engaged in his own work, wife is busy with her own work. In previously, for the older generation, the elders used to be there to solve the problems, whatever we have. So now it is not like that. We don't have elders in our house to talk to, someone whom we can talk to. So whereas in that case, we need a psychologist who can assure you privacy. Definitely your things, whatever you talk to a psychologist or counselor, is not going to go out.
Correct.
And then to have different methods of therapy that are designed to help with different types of problems. Like you have cognitive therapy, CBT, and then you have muscle relaxation therapy, behavioral therapy. Like that, you have client-centered therapy. Different types of techniques are available to help the person. So the psychiatrist, the psychologist can talk to the client and then decide what kind of therapy, hypnotherapy, what is required for that person to exactly become all right.
Correct. So ma'am, these therapies, do they make the person forget their trauma, or do they make the person believe that this is what is there in life, so I have to understand this and move on with this? So what happens after the therapy?
They're able to handle the same situation better. They have better confidence in themselves. So they're not exactly forgetting the whole thing, but okay, now what to do? At least what is in the future? Not thinking about the past, and I cannot change the past. Like those type of thoughts always lead to depression. So now we will make the person think that what is for you going forward. How can you make your life better in the future?
Correct.
a better outlook of future.
Correct, ma'am. So yes, there are people who are very busy with their life, like not like only office burden or stress related to their promotions or boss, but usually they keep themselves busy with some outdoor games or some hobbies and all. But still, underlying stress always be there inside them, because what I feel is nobody can forget their past so easily. So, what can we tell to such people? Because usually people ask the ones who are in depression to divert themselves, to get into a new hobby, start doing something so that you keep yourself busy. But even when the person is busy, this trauma or stress doesn't go away. So, what usually the reasons are for that?
Yeah, so exactly what happens when a person gets depressed is there are some hormones which are secreted when you are happy.
Okay.
There are hormones which are secreted when you are happy. When you keep on brooding over your past life, so what happens is the happiness hormones do not secrete in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So the physical reason for depression is you don't have these hormones in you. That is why people feel depressed. Okay. So in order to be happy, you need for the sleep you need melatonin to sleep well. Then you need dopamine, serotonin, all that you need. Oxytocin, all those things. These are
the happy hormones.
Yeah, the happy hormones which you need to be happy. When you are constantly happy, your brain, your neurons secrete, your neurons interact with each other. There is that electricity which passes between the neurons.
Mm-hmm.
So these hormones are secreted. When you're brooding over something, sitting idle, first day it might be only less. You can easily get up and go back to work. But what happens is people don't do that. They just, once they sit like that, they keep on continue like that for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Then you will be totally depressed, because everything in your all the backup stock will be discharged.
Correct.
So you need to be keeping on happy, keep yourself active. That is why we say keep yourself active, play some game. When you are playing some active game or walking regularly, doing some exercise and all that, all these hormones are secreted in the body. Such persons come out of depression easily, and they don't get depressed easily also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, ma'am, another thing you told that previously we had joint families, and also the cases of depressions were less. Other than that reason, what else can you say the reason for increased cases of depression and anxiety disorders?
Now is one more thing. Previously, there was no knowledge of people don't used to care about mental health. People used to care only about physical health when they see where they're able to relate to it, because they're seeing the hurt outside.
Right. The pain is also, it can be felt easily. The pain can be felt easily.
Yeah. So people didn't care about the mental health. So it never used to come out. That small cases and all never used to come out. There might have been in the previous generation also, but the thing is, nobody cared, and so it did not come out. Unless a person came to an irreversible condition where they became mad.
Correct.
So
then,
they used to just whatever they could do, they did. That's all. So, but now at least we are able to recognize that mental health is also equally important, and at the early stage itself, we are able to address it because of more knowledge in the public generally.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yes, ma'am, you told that like the reasons can be divorce or a loss of a loved person, or maybe ups and downs in the career. So how can a person prevent themselves from going into the depression state? I mean, before the person needs therapy, what can the person do to like stop or restrict themselves from going through anxiety and depression during such situations?
Okay, for this, let us take the case of, first point is, everyone needs to have a set routine. The first thing which helps to avoid depression is you have a routine. In the morning, I get up, I do all these things. From this time to this time, you have a set timetable like that. That is the first thing. You follow the timetable.
Correct.
Then you have to do your duty, whatever it might be. Here, you can take the example of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is basically something which deals with depression. If you see, Lord Krishna, he advised the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna.
Right.
He advised it when in the battleground. In the battlefield, when he was so much tensed already, and he did not want to continue the fight. He did not want to fight against his own relatives, cousins.
Yes.
Sometimes it happens in life that you have to fight against your own people whom you love. Sometimes it cannot be avoided. Not a physical fight, but you will have to take a decision against someone like that. So, Bhagavad Gita, what Bhagavad Gita advises is just do your duty and forget everything. Leave the rest to God.
Correct.
So, once you do your duty, you are removing that me quotient from that equation. See, I did this, so we are in a problem. That is what creates depression, that I did this. The I creates the problem. Because of me, now everyone is suffering. That kind of guilt, when that guilt comes, you will definitely fall into depression. So, in order to avoid the guilt portion, what you should do? You should do your duty and leave the rest to God. When you do that, the I quotient is removed. What I have done is I have done my duty. Whatever happens, it is not beyond a particular point. It is not my responsibility. I cannot take the full blame for it.
Correct. So nothing is in our hands.
Yeah. So you are away from guilt. Once you start doing your duty, following a routine, you are away from guilt. So that is what Krishna advised Arjuna. See, the Dharma states that you have to fight against unjust people. The unjust people happen to be your cousins. That cannot be helped. It is beyond your control. You are just fighting injustice. So just fight. Close your eyes and fight. I will help you. That is what God said. When you follow that path, definitely you will come out of depression.
Yeah. Right, ma'am. So, yes, coming to the topic of children, you mentioned if there are some conflicts between the parents or maybe even some kind of bullying in the school, this kind of creates depression in children, which we may not be able to identify because they cannot vocally express about it, and as also they don't even know what it is. So how can we identify if the child is going through depression, and what precautions we can take to avoid such situations?
Might be keep in regular touch with the school, the teacher. How is the child performing at class? And then when they get back from school to home, regularly ask them, keep asking them what happened at school today. If you find any changes in behavior, a normally playful child who comes back home happy is suddenly not like that. This continues for more than a week. Then you should investigate more into that matter. what happened. Sometimes it might be something silly because children get hurt easily, so it might be small fight with some friend or something. Sometimes it might be something serious. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, we have to like that identify. And as you said, we have to also be in touch with the child also. We should keep talking to the child and knowing about their routine.
What happens at school.
Correct. So yes, ma'am, I would like to sum up all our conversation by some advice or tips that you can tell people how to maintain a mental balance, like how to take care of their mental peace.
So just as I already said, you can follow a set routine, take care of your self-hygiene, give some time for yourself. Despite your hectic schedule, give some time to relax. Maybe take a simple manicure or pedicure or relaxation massage, something for yourself. Don't be so much overwhelmed with whatever you do or your surroundings. And then reading books or regularly playing a game like tennis, or it can be any game, badminton,
any game,
any game like that. Going for a walk, writing a diary, a journal, what happened today. So what are the things I'm thankful for in my life, what all God has given, and today what are the happy things that happened in my life. How can I help at least one person every day? In what way? It can be a very simple help, not necessarily giving money to others or something. Your next house auntie might require flowers. You just go and get some flowers from the neighborhood and give it to her. She is happy. Make someone happy. Yeah, all these, when you see happiness in others, it just comes into you.
Correct.
Happiness easily, it is infectious. Like somebody smiles, you also smile.
Right.
Yeah. So when you help others, it naturally comes back to you. In that way, you can keep your mind active and healthy and happy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you so much, ma'am. So yes, listeners, as ma'am told, that a psychologist can actually help you to get the most out of your life and keep you free from symptoms of depression and other mental health problems. And yes, as we discussed, therapy may provide you long-term solutions for your unwanted thoughts and feelings which are actually affecting your day-to-day functioning. So yes, I would surely mention the details about ma'am, so that anybody who feels that they need to consult a psychologist or want to talk or want to vent out their emotions, so you can surely consult and take an online consultation with ma'am. And I hope everybody feels a relief and happiness in life and moves on and takes care of yourself. So yes, once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for telling us all about these details.
Thank you too, and thank you for having me in your podcast. It was a very nice experience talking to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So yes, listeners, again, we'll meet in the next episode. Till then, do take care, and yes, bye. Thank you.